Now they keep trying to cancel ICE. LA stripped their masks. Activists doxed their locations. Illegals thought the system would protect them. But now they're begging. They want rent freezes. They're riding in the streets in ICE. ICE is moving like they never left. Welcome to the real America. Let's get into it.
Continue, the LA Tenants Union is calling for an eviction moratorium. They say thousands of immigrants will be unable to pay their bills come July 1st because avoiding detainment is taking priority over going to work.
This militarization of our community, this occupation of our community, this terrorizing of our communities have closed down businesses, have taken away street vendors, have separated families, and then people cannot pay their rent. They have barely the minimum to survive. We need the city to put a rent freeze. We need the city to protect tenants.
What?
So let me get this right, lady. Y'all want to be over here legally, don't want to do it the right way, and then when shit hit the fan, now you want to talk about, oh, people can't pay their rent and all that shit, and we deserve a rent freeze. What are you talking about? When the pandemic happened and Joe let all these illegals in with no rent freeze, they didn't freeze nobody rent in the last 4 years. Everybody had to still pay it, and the people that didn't pay it got put the fuck out. So I'm trying to understand, what the fuck is she talking about? Ain't nobody trying to hear all that. Talking about some street vendors. What are you talking about, street vendors? If you ain't got no permit to sell on the street anyway, nigga, that's illegal anyway. So,
Hey, man. Come on now.
I'm trying to understand.
Make it make
We
sense.
didn't get no break. We didn't get no rent freeze. We ain't never got no fucking rent freeze. I'm pretty sure other people in California, other than immigrants, would like a rent freeze, but you just wanted for y'all to have it. Now, you don't get up out of here, lady.
I mean, just wait for a second, right? Like, illegals who broke into this country now want rent free because they're scared to go to work. What happened to they're just here to work the jobs Americans want? Let me ask you this. Why are American citizens still paying rent while illegals are demanding immunity from consequences? Because this ain't about humanity anymore. It's about entitlement, bought by fear. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more absurd, they're not just asking for protection. They're leaking ISIS locations to help others escape.
Kansas City, not a drill. HSI has been confirmed at El Toro Loco in Lenexa, Kansas. Again, El Toro Loco in Lenexa, Kansas. They are inside with the doors locked. Get your ass there. This is confirmed by air. All right? El Toro Loco.
No, it sounds like El Pollo Loco. I used to work there. Anywho, this is a felony. Straight up obstruction of federal law enforcement. And yet, this person is celebrated online for putting ICE agents' lives in danger. Let me be very clear. If you endanger law enforcement so criminals can't get away, or can get away, I'm sorry. If you endanger law enforcement so criminals can get away, you're not an activist. You're an accomplice. That's what you are. But this ain't just a TikTok stunt. Some are getting in ICE's face on site. Yeah, talking reckless. Yeah, until the cuffs click.
Hey, you better show your board not to handle women like that. Hey, take off your mask. Where's your paperwork? You're on my job site.
Just back up.
No, you're on my job site.
Just back up a little bit.
You're on my job site, man.
You can talk. You can film all you want. Just back up a little bit.
Hey, take off your mask.
Just give them space.
Who are you?
Just give them
Who are
space.
you? Who are you to give
got a
me
job to
orders?
do.
Yeah, my job's here, and you're
want you to
invading
give
it.
them space.
And now you're a terrorist with a mask on the face. You're a terrorist, dude. You're a fucking terrorist on my land. And you can't even claim it.
You can't even take your mask off.
Yeah, dude. Is that how embarrassed you are?
That Asian dude slammed that lady on the car. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He does it too.
Hard motherfucker with no hair. Slammed that lady on the car like if she had to. Look how little she is to you, bald boy.
You're a terrorist with a mask on. On whose land? Sir, you entered illegally, and you're lecturing federal agents on U.S. soil about jurisdiction? The same ICE that says you has no right to be here. I mean, maybe not you, but for your friends. Is the only reason child predators, traffickers, and felons aren't walking free today. ICE, they're the reason. The same ICE, again, as you said, that y'all keep thinking has no jurisdiction to be there. You don't get to break in, throw a tantrum, and then demand the rules change for you, man. That's not how this works. And when cities tried to strip ICE's ability to even wear masks, the man in charge, he said it best.
We're honored to have a few minutes here with Borders Czar Tom Homan. Tom, thank you so much for being here with us. I want to get your opinion on something that just came out of LA County. Its Board of Supervisors just voted unanimously to draft a new ordinance prohibiting immigration officers and federal agents from wearing masks when doing their jobs, except for carrying out any sort of medical procedures. What's your reaction to this?
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
We're going to keep doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Did they propose any sort of rule on unmasking Antifa or unmasking the protesters that turned violent in LA, that attacked our ICE officers, assaulted ICE officers, that ruined, that destroyed millions of dollars in federal property, that attacked LAPD and the LA County sheriffs? How about the man that threw a Molotov cocktail on the officers, which is a deadly issue? Any rules on that? Of course not.
Doesn't appear to be.
Politics over public safety.
And to that point on Antifa, does this administration have any plans to rule Antifa as a domestic terror organization due to its actions against our own ICE agents and federal agents?
I don't know of any discussions concerning that.
And in the meantime, you are planning a trip to Seattle and Portland. Our very own Jonathan Cho here at Frontlines with Turning Point is out there on the ground covering the insane riots and protests happening out there. Do you have a date locked in? Are you ready to go to Seattle and Portland, taking on that state, those cities?
I'm going there very soon. I'm going to be there shoulder to shoulder with the men and women of ICE, and they put their safety at risk every day, removing the worst of the worst in this country. And I'm going to show them that I got their six. I'm proud of what they're doing. So no one's going to intimidate us not to do our job, including me.
What will be your main focus in Portland and Seattle when you travel there?
To meet with the men and women of ICE and let them know we got their back, let them know we got their six, and we understand the difficulty they have out there, and it's a very dangerous job. We're going to give them the protection they need. We'll give them the equipment they need, the technology they need, because we're going to keep doing what they're doing.
Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate it.
No, this is the kind of leadership that terrifies the left. Unbothered, unapologetic, unstoppable. Now, while LA is writing soft laws to protect criminals, ICE is writing arrest warrants. And they just getting started, too. Want to know why? Because behind those masks, ICE is cleaning up a system sanctuary states help rot.
This San Ramon target becoming the target itself of a bombing and burglary of an ATM inside. And now the Department of Justice announcing arrest in connection.
It's just scary. Like, I wouldn't want to be here during an event like that.
Prosecutors say the man detonated an improvised explosive device just before 2:30 in the morning Sunday. The man accused of being a member of a South American ATM theft ring, targeting dozens of ATMs and banks in California, Oregon, and Washington, and stealing more than $4 million in cash.
Something like this never happened in San Ramon, so I just it kind of broke my heart to see this happen in our community.
Prosecutors say the crew used blowtorches, construction crew disguises, cell phone jammers, and other sophisticated tactics to break into the ATMs, renting short-term vacation properties nearby and using vehicles from the black market to avoid getting caught. This San Ramon target becoming the target itself.
A literal bombing, 4 million stolen. And where was he hiding? In Gavin Newsom's sanctuary, California. That's where he was. So, make sure you ask yourself this. Are these states protecting the vulnerable or shielding foreign criminals while Americans pay the price? And while we're talking criminals, I just made it very clear. if you've got a sex crime rap sheet, you're done.
We're making sure that we don't allow these people, even if they have pending charges and haven't been convicted yet, to go back out and find another victim, which has happened so many times, especially in sanctuary jurisdictions where, someone gets released on no cash bond or no bond at all, and they go out and they find another victim. And ICE won't allow that. Whether they're a convicted criminal or they have pending criminal charges, they're still a criminal alien, and we are going to make sure that they don't have a chance to offend again. We're making sure that we don't.
This is what safety looks like. Over 15,000 illegal immigrants convicted of sexual assault, many in sanctuary cities, and they are finally being deported. Protecting families, look, it's not cruel. It's not. It's the job. But in Denver, it wasn't just predators getting detained. ICE showed up where the labor was illegal, and people lost it. %22 of construction firms admitted illegal labor is propping up their industry. So who's really exploiting who here? ICE isn't the enemy. They're doing the work companies, politicians, and activists don't have the guts to do. But the tech elites, they're not just sitting this one out. Yeah, they're helping illegals track ICE with apps.
Millions have seen the videos. More than 56,000 migrants arrested and detained since February.
¿Por qué le pegas?
Yeah, that's funny.
Nearly half of them without criminal convictions or pending criminal charges. Here in the town of Waltham, just outside of Boston, groups like these say they're fighting back. Founded in February, Fuerzas volunteers go on near daily patrols, interacting with local residents and looking to spot ICE vehicles.
We engage ICE officers if they're on the street. We ask them to identify themselves, and we also make sure that if there is someone being detained, we take their information, we let them know their rights, and then we try to provide a safety net around their family.
Have you seen arrests happen in front of your eyes?
Yes. They had detained someone who was with a child, and we were able to walk him home because they just left him, on the street.
So you had to walk a child home after ICE agents took
the
caretaker off the street.
Yeah.
An estimated 4.7 million children who are U.S. citizens have at least one undocumented parent. Families like Oscar's.
No queremos mostrar por miedo.
You don't want to show your face because of fear.
We're using a different name to protect his privacy. His partner, a mother of two who wants to go by the name Mariana, was released 2 weeks ago after spending nearly 2 months in a detention center. Mariana was supposed to be here for this interview, but today she's in the hospital because of what Oscar says she experienced in detention.
Fiebre, dolor de barriga, debilidad.
She's got fever, she's got stomach pain, she's weak right now. ¿Qué tal las hijas? How are her daughters?
Bueno, para ella fue muy difícil. La niña grande nos cayó en depresión.
The older daughter immediately became depressed, wasn't able to sleep, but the younger daughter has autism and was reliant on her mother's support.
Oscar says he and his family received help from a Massachusetts-based network called Luce, which also runs a hotline for people to report ICE activity. They're just one of dozens of organizations across the country, online and in person, aimed at monitoring the agency. Like California-based People Over Papers, an online platform where volunteers can submit video or photos of suspected ICE sightings.
Where we're at right now is well past the 13 million users since we've started this operation. We have people that log on every single day that do not leave their home without first opening our map.
The Trump administration has called for the Justice Department to investigate a similar app called ICE Block, which allows users to see real-time reports of ICE activity.
Are you all worried about being targeted by the administration or by officials?
We know our rights. We still have a constitution, and we're going to continue exercising our rights.
Now, you've got NBC basically encouraging law enforcement sabotage. Why? Because emotion now trumps law. They don't want ICE to do its job. They want illegals to have a digital escape route. Imagine if the FBI or ATF got tracked this way. And while they're using apps, others are unfortunately using violence. This is a follow-up for those two illegals who fired shots at ICE agents.
Brand new information about a massive manhunt after shots were fired during an ICE raid in El Paso County yesterday. So we are just learning one suspect has now been caught, and ICE is still looking for one other person today. So you can see this person right here. This is Jose Mendez Chavez. ICE says that he is in the U.S. illegally and has been convicted of child abuse and domestic violence. ICE also says that he's been deported 6 times in the past. The federal agency was conducting what it calls a targeted enforcement operation yesterday morning in Black Forest, which is just north of Colorado Springs. ICE says 2 suspects tried to ram an agent's car, and that's when one agent fired 3 times and the suspects took off on foot. We're told ICE arrested the passenger in that car yesterday. They've not said where the other suspect may be. Again, that hunt is still on. Brand new information about a massive man
had been deported 6 times. Child abuse, domestic violence, and yet he kept coming back. Why? Because the border was open. Sanctuary states rolled out the welcome mat, so to speak. And the only ones saying enough were ICE. Let that sink in. And still, man, the left pretends ICE is the one abusing power. But the truth? Even American citizens have been caught in the chaos.
Several United States citizens have been detained and held in immigration detention centers since federal agents descended onto Los Angeles' streets in early June. Job Garcia was taken into custody at Home Depot in Hollywood on June 9th and held in federal prison for several hours without charges.
The first thought that came was like, this is probably what George Floyd felt like. He had their knee on his neck.
That sounds really scary.
That it was, because I started to feel like there was some sort of interruption in my breathing pattern, and fortunately they got me up, but yeah, that was a very scary situation.
Are they permitted to do that? Absolutely not. It represents, in my experience, and I've been doing this a long time, the most serious abuse of power with respect to law enforcement in immigration operations.
Capitol in Maine has documented 9 citizens who were taken into custody by agents with ICE or U.S. Customs and Border Protection in the LA area since June 6. 2 are facing federal charges. The ongoing raids have even drawn the criticism of 6 California Republican state legislators who sent a letter to President Donald Trump asking for ICE and the Department of Homeland Security to change course.
No one wants to be caught up in the pathway of those raids because it could compromise the family as a whole.
The Department of Homeland Security said in a statement to Capitol in Maine that threats or acts of violence toward law enforcement officers will not be tolerated. Secretary Noem has made it clear, if you threaten or attempt to harm a law enforcement officer, we will find you and prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. Attorney Ernest Herrera, who is representing Job Garcia, says the federal government's actions go against American values.
And it looks more like the behavior of a crackpot military dictatorship in a different country. But it's here, so we can't really say this is foreign. This is happening right now in our country.
This is clearly a Democrat hit piece, if you will. ICE didn't fold. They got louder. If anything, they're getting smarter. And now they're raiding through the noise, the lies, and the outrage. They're being demonized, but now they're doing the job no one else will. Welcome to Team Think. I got to shout out the 4X Club. Real quick, y'all know I got to do some shout outs. Y'all show so much love. I got to show love back. Let me see. Wendy Sierra 5587 says, love your channel, love your commentary. I appreciate that. I'm gonna reply back. Kim Ruble 477. Thank you for your hard work. So nice of you. Who else we have? Abigail Excel 5679. She says, good clap. You know, I'm sure she's probably talking about ICE. Mr. Ordinary and Jen Lynch 5550. Nothing but love. I really appreciate y'all for making this channel what it is. Team, thank y'all. Be safe, please. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.